Hey there, welcome to the Lumiere channel. Welcome to the Lumiere channel. Welcome to your current feelings. I don't know how many people are actually interested in your current feelings, but what I usually do is I'll watch, especially mostly 100%, my own readings of their current feelings, and I'll pick a pile for myself, and it's been incredibly telling. I don't know, it helps me understand myself. It helps me kind of see parts of myself that I'm like, oh shoot, yeah, that might be how I come off, or like, yeah, that's kind of true, or like, oh, okay, I can kind of blah 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 blah. Anyway, for people who aren't insane like I am, this is for you. You want to know your current feelings, how you feel about somebody? I'm assuming this is romantic. You can use it how you want to, whatever. That's on you to flip the stories how you need to. But these are your current feelings, and if you're watching this, you're a special kind of person because you actually care about, like, I don't know, taking accountability to some degree, like being curious, but I don't know, you're just a special kind of person. So welcome, and I'll see you. Timestamps in the description box below. Bye. Hey, Pal 6, what are your current feelings about them? Okay, what are your current feelings? I'm gonna shuffle off camera and I'll be right back. Girl, I'll call everybody girl. That took a while to shuffle. And I'm kind of feeling that this is maybe your current feelings, maybe around a certain person, but maybe also just in general. Ugh. Okay. You know you're Pal 6, right? Like, you don't need to see the number, because in my new place, it's a little bit difficult. All right, we have, I know that you are the one for me. Why is this like this? Okay. What do you want? I'm carrying so much on my shoulders. There, that's better. Two of Wands in a very Two of Wands decision. I mean, position. Freudian slip, folks. Forgiving and learning. Engagement in reverse, and the moon in the reverse. Pal 6. I've noticed that Pal 6 is featured in a lot of the pick a card, pick a numbers that I've been doing for the past, like, just scroll, like, you'll see 6 in all of them. It's like 6 and 4, but 6 a lot. So it's interesting. Here's what this is for me. The only thing that is very much an outlier here is I know that you are the one for me, because everything else kind of signals a no. I feel like in your current feelings, though, there's Teal Swan describes resistance as, imagine you're in a boat and you've got 6 oars, men or women or people, whatever. And 3 of them are rowing upstream, 3 of them are rowing downstream, and it's this kind of like push-pull of like, what? Where are we going? We're not. Where are we going? We're not. I want to go this way. We're not. I want to go this way. We're not. Like, it's just kind of like that. And this is kind of, okay, motorcycle. Yeah, definitely. This is kind of in a similar vein of that, actually, in that this is a strong feeling. I know that you're the one for me. There's someone who you know, or you want to know, or you used to know, or you used to have a deeper amount of faith in the dynamic that you had, but the reality of that dynamic, the pursuit of that dynamic, really, the reality of that dynamic is not, it's just not, like, it's not. And that's difficult, because I feel like you do want this person, right? Whether this person actually is a person that exists in real life, or this is just the general idea of, say, for instance, love, right? Like, knowing that you do want love and wondering what you need to do to get to that level of having that love. or get to that, whatever, like whatever it is that you need. Like, what do I need in order to get to that? What do you want? If it's a real physical person that exists in your world, then it's almost like, well, what do you want? Like, what do I have to do to show you that I'm the one for you, or you're the one for me, or we have something special, or whatever the case may be. So those are essentially sort of like the tug of war that's sort of happening within you when it comes to your feelings towards this person, situation, dynamic, or even in general in your world. This dissonance between the desire that you have in your heart and the reality as you see it. I'm carrying so much on my shoulders is kind of what I feel you've also arrived at. The moon in reverse, forgiving and learning. Number 6, you've essentially arrived at a point in your life where whether you have made this sort of like formal decision or formal understanding or formal acquiescing or formal acknowledgement, radically accepting. I don't know if you have, maybe some of you have, but of seeing the situation as such. I'm about to tell you what the as such is. You sort of need to figure your world out, your life out, your stuff out, yourself out. The word in my head is your wounds, right? So your wounds are going to look very different. A wound isn't always what we think it is, okay? A wound can even be overgiving. A wound can be being too porous. A wound can be, people pleasing. A wound can be being too hard. A wound can be being too outspoken. A wound can be being too understanding. A wound can be being too empathic. A wound can be not being empathic enough, not being sympathetic enough. Like, a wound is a fucking, like, too early to swear in the video, lose baby girl. A wound is just something that is open, that you are acting from, that needs to be addressed and addressed. Because when you're acting from pain, whatever that pain looks like, or when you're acting from whatever that motherfucker is, you are acting from that place. Does that make sense? For instance, let's say you hurt yourself, okay? No, let's say you're like in the woods or whatever, and you see a snake, or the snake starts attacking you or coming towards you. Acting from the reaction, right? You're reacting, right? You're not, in fact, that's actually really what it is. It's being in a reactive state as opposed to like a conscious creator state. But let's go back to the snake. The snake attacking you, or this creature, the scorpion attacking you, or this like whatever situation that puts you in a fight or flight or freeze, that situation, the decisions that you make from that are not maybe the decisions that you would make in a sane mind, or in a mind where like you're calm, you're normal. This decision will make you maybe run for water and you can't swim. This decision, right, reacting to this scenario would make you run towards an enemy because they're there and you want to be not alone. You know what I mean? Like, there are decisions that you make in this reactive situation, and are certain kind of decisions that you would make. I'm not going to say they're right or wrong, but you're making them from a certain space, right? Like, we make them from certain spaces. They are not the decisions that we would make if we were calm. So if you're making decisions from a broke mindset, if you're making decisions from a lonely mindset, if you're making decisions from, I don't know, whatever your story is, okay, it's going to be different. And even the words that I said are going to be vastly different to every different person. But if you're making your decisions from a certain wound, okay, from a situation, that's not helpful, because you're not in that situation, and this situation almost like is begetting maybe even more of itself. I'm gonna move on. The moon in reverse, overwhelm. I'm carrying so much in my shoulders, overwhelm. Forgiving and learning, overwhelm. Emotional overwhelm. Intuitive overwhelm. It's just a lot going on, and I think you gotta get grounded. So how you're feeling is overwhelmed. How you're feeling is wanting to get grounded. How you're feeling is you're having maybe too much stimulus. I like to describe it as sometimes like there's so much that wants to come through all at once that none of it can fit through the door, so nothing is actually coming out. It's like being constipated. Like you have stuff inside you that needs to leave your body, but like the door is too small. Like it's just not gonna come out. Like they're all trying to rush out at once. And it's like, yo, we can't, the door is too small, we can't. So your feelings in this current situation or dynamic is overwhelm. Wondering what you should do, what you shouldn't do. Some of you might be overusing / abusing readings or cards or whatever, when really what might be needed might be a bit of grounding. Because, oh my God, I forgot it was like a 2 of Wands. Just this like analysis paralysis and inability to make a choice. And like, of course, because where you're really going to go, like none of the things are coming through the door. Engagement in reverse to me is always like 90% disengaging. So in as much as you want something, and as much as you really want something, and as much as it feels like it's yours, it just feels like there's so many barriers in the world and also in your psyche and your being that that feels like they're stopping you. And so you disengage. You just disengage. You don't even want to get in there because it's too much. You don't even know what decision to make. You're dealing with shame, guilt, like whatever feelings you're dealing with, like overwhelm, healing, trying to understand yourself and the situation, trying to understand how you need to pivot, how this is like, it's so much. Let's get some guidance for you. Because I can do that in this reading. What's some guidance from pile number 6 in this situation towards this person or this dynamic or this situation? Fork in the road. Yo, it's cruel. It's cruel. Because what I'm saying, it's difficult to make a decision. To me, what I would have assumed that is the guidance would have been grounding. We have mending here. So, I'll say this. If you, pile 6, need to make some sort of amends, make those amends if only, and in fact primarily, and secondarily, and tertiarily, to relieve yourself of what you need to just sort of like declutter your mind with, okay? Whether or not those amends or whatever are going to be met with the desired outcome of forgiveness and togetherness, that's honestly like, no. It's more so about you moving into a space of allowing yourself the opportunity to offer your, sorries wherever you need to, if you need to still figure that out. And also for you to start forgiving yourself and you start closing those wounds that you're acting from, okay? Because you are here somewhere, somehow, or you've been wounded, right, by someone in this dynamic. And it's almost like, okay, the emotional trigger that is coming from the absence of someone, the involvement of someone, the lack of like whatever it is that's going on, it has triggered something that was pre-existing in you or something that has become a thing, and that's the thing that needs to be dealt with. So it's about forgiving yourself. And this is not just from forgiving and learning, this is from mending in the reverse. And mending in the reverse is like in the protection, it's like what else do you need to forgive? Like, can you forgive yourself, right? Let me read it to you. Heartbreak is a strange healer of souls. Our grief strips away our masks and loosens our tight hold on our separateness, where we view ourselves as I and the world as it. Loss allows us to see ourselves as part of a larger scheme, opening us up to sympathy, empathy, and dependence on others in the moment when we can't hold ourselves together. And it leads us to become one with the greater whole again. Pain and suffering is part of life, and none of us will be immune to it. Can you view this loss, this pain this dissonance as a way back to source. Let your sorrow break your heart wide open. You will never be left behind. You are loved, now more than ever, by spirit. Who doesn't want you to feel alone? One day you will look back and know this truth. Now, particularly this guidance here in the form of fork in the road is just okay. I will read the relationship one. You've reached a moment of truth in the evolution of your relationship. Which will you choose? To open up to the possibility of love, or to remain isolated? To go deeper and commit to mutual passion, or to walk away? This is a time to take responsibility for your truest desire and follow it. Be honest with yourself about what you're willing to do, invest, and give, then choose. You cannot make a wrong choice. That's nice to hear. If you move forward with a relationship, know that it will be based in truth and authenticity. You will have made a conscious decision rather than simply hanging on because you don't want to be alone, or ending things because you're afraid of the intensity of genuine connection. All roads lead to the lessons you must learn in your relationships. Regardless of the decision you make, it will place you on the path to a truer experience of the heart. What this is telling me here is for you to get to know what you want first before you make a decision based off of any heightened emotional state, be it a state of that's like lower and bluer, or a state that is hyped up and anxious, coming to a calm sort of place, a grounded place, and from that point making a decision that is what will be best for you. Okay, I wish you everything in this one. This one was really deep. I wish you everything. I really do. Keep your light on, my friend, and good luck. Bye-bye. Hey there, Pal 7. Welcome to your current feelings. I know. Okay, you're one of the brave people that wanted to find out what your current feelings are. Let me know how this resonates for you in the comments. Let me know how it comes up for you. I'm very curious to see how this goes. Like I said in the beginning, I like to do this for myself and using my readings, and it's kind of fun. So you let me know. I'm going to continue shuffling off camera. Am I? I think I'm done, actually. Yes. Okay, Paul 7. You know you're Paul 7, right? Great. What are your current feelings? Now, this could relate to love, a love situation that you're dealing with, or it could really relate to a greater situation that you are personally going through in your life. We have the 10 of Wands in reverse, the 6 of Swords in reverse, codependency in reverse. You deserve love. Tell me what to do, and will you marry me? Okay, you feel like giving up, but it's a giving up where you go, okay, like, fine, like, I surrender. What do you want? Like, what do you want? I'll do it. Like, fine. Like, you've just sort of reached a point of, like, okay, like, you have no fight left in you. And whether or not that's a good thing or bad thing is neither here nor there, but that's just kind of what it is. Like, that's the feeling, like, okay, what do you want? What do you want me to do? Like, I'll do it. You tell me what to do. Like, because you just dolled out. Like, I'm imagining, like, you know, a puppeteer doll that has life, or a doll that has life, and then it's just, like, sort of like the puppeteer just stops, and it's like someone else can pick up that puppet and do what they want with it. It's I don't know. It's just kind of like, but that puppet has sentience. Like, it's its own puppeteer. And this is just an energy of someone who's gone, okay, like, okay, fine. Like, what do you want? What do you want? We'll try it your way. Like, what do you want? Will you marry me, to me, shows me a sense of, like, someone wanting to do, okay, and I need to phrase this well. We're going to be here all day. Someone wanting, okay, it's not a sense of, if I was reading this for someone else, I would say they want to trap someone. But I say that in the most casual way possible. Like, this is someone that's kind of like at their wit's end, who's given up, and I say that with like bunny ears, right? Like quotations around it. Someone who's reached a surrender point and gone like, okay, like I give up, like what do you want? Will you marry me feels like what I want, like I feel like I need to do something, or I will do something that will get you to stay, will get you to commit to me, like will get you to be here. Like what do you want? It's commitment energy, but it's in the form of like, gosh, I'm still not getting like the mental sort of like feeling I have. I don't feel like I've adequately communicated it. It just feels like someone looking at you with complete open body language, in a sense of like, okay, like I surrender, I acquiesce, like what? Okay, like what? Like, will you be mine? Like, what do I need to do for you to be mine? Like, what? Like, okay, like, what? Okay. And that's what I got for you, Pal 7, okay? It's giving 10 of Wands in reverse, for sure. Will you marry me? Tell me what to do. This is the 10 of Wands in reverse. This is the energy of, okay. That is, okay, okay. I've tried this, I've tried that, I've done this, I've done that. I'm open. What do I need to do? You want me to walk on 10 toes? Okay. You want me to hold my nose and quack like a duck? Yeah, quack, quack. Like, okay. You want me to call you every day? Sure. What time? You want me to jump? How high? For how long? I've jumped. Like, okay. These sound subjugating, like you're being subjugated. It doesn't have to be. It could just be someone who's reached a point of not fighting anymore. Someone being you, right? And that can be a beautiful point. And that can be also just kind of like someone, not so great. It depends on where you're at in your world. This is someone, energy I'm picking up, who is ready to be malleable. This is something that's reduced itself back to a clay mold. They may have retained their shape, but they're open to suggestion. And they're open to doing other things because what they've been doing has failed, or hasn't got them what they wanted, or they're just tired of fighting, or they're tired. Like, okay, you want me to take fucking 7 vitamins a day? All right, sure. Because I've tried everything. Like, I'm tired. I can't keep doing it of my own ways, or how I've been going. I'm putting, like, it's not even I'm putting it to the side. It's like, it's just been dropped. Codependency in reverse is quite interesting, actually. I think it's so interesting because codependency in reverse can always sometimes mean, always sometimes, such a loose thing to say. That's why I say this is either for the better or for the worse. Like, it could really go either way. Like, it depends on your own situation, number 7. Like, you being at the whim of someone else. It's almost like, it could be in the form of like, fine, you're the boss, like do whatever. But I also could be like, fine, you're the boss. If you want to talk, we'll talk. Sure, I'll speak back. If you don't want to talk, I'm also okay with that. I won't instigate. I won't. I'll just, whatever it is what it is. Like, I will do the thing that is required of me. It's a beautiful place to be in, while at the same time, it can be a tough place to be. It's really like a come to Jesus, a surrender moment, which can be quite beautiful depending on how you're moving. But I'd like to say, I don't know how you're feeling this, but I feel good about it. Outside of the Six of Swords, the Six of Swords, that would be normal for this kind of thing, because, I mean, it sucked. It sucks. Hello? Like, the Six of Swords in reverse is just like, okay. Like, it's definitely sort of going back to rocky waters, or being in rocky waters. But this to me feels very Four of Swords as well, because it's almost like someone just going, okay, like I surrender to the situation. They're in the boat has a hole, or so, like the raft, it's a raft, it's not a boat, and they go, okay, well, this is what I have, this is what it is, and they go on their raft, and they don't steer the ship, they don't steer the raft, they go, the raft is going to take me where it's going to take me. Yeah. Codependency in reverse, back to this, can sometimes mean to me deep codependency. And so for some of you, maybe it is, right? For some of you, it's like deep codependency. It's like whatever you want. Like, yeah, will you marry me? Like, what do we need for that? Right? Like, will you, like, what do I need to have you? What do I need to do to have you? Like, you tell me. Like, you tell me. Right? It's gonna be how you're feeling. Like, yo, number 7, you gotta let me know what the story is. Okay. It could be that, a deep codependency. But again, there's that other side where it's like, it's the fact that you're almost saying and feeling that, okay, like, I give up, like, I surrender. What do you want? Like, what is the situation? Like, let's see. And then your reaction from that, whether you do it or you don't, or how you do it or how you feel, the ... of that is a releasing of like this sort of codependent dynamic of you do this and I'll do that. You do this and I'll do that. I've done this and you do that. Like, it's just kind of like, I'm tired, like, I'm done, like, I can't keep doing this, I'm done. There's like a release of that where you go like, okay, like, I'm ready to like make bygones be bygones, ready to make peace in the situation, like, whatever, like, what does that need? Like, what does that need? And that's a closing, an end to codependency, an end to this sort of tit for, like, whatever this push-pull dynamic. It's just kind of someone's going like, I'm out. I'm out of this, like, I'm tapping out. Like, whatever work, whatever like you're gonna do, like, okay, fine. You do that. Okay, fine. Right? It's kind of like that. You deserve love is the thing that's kind of making me feel like this dynamic is this how you're feeling is going towards. Now, of course, you're a Lumi, okay? Like, you're a Lumi. Whether you're new or you've been here, you're a Lumi, okay? You're part of the house of Lumiere. You're part of the illumination. And I do have a bias in thinking that sometimes you guys are just on the right track. Are we always? No, but I feel like you've reached a state of surrender and like, okay, whatever, like, fine, it is what it is, or fine, like, I'm tapping out of of what it's been. Because you deserve love. Like, you're like, I want better. No. That's kind of where I feel like it's more so on the positive side of that. For some of you, it may not be. Some of you, it may not be. Right? But I think for most, it could be. Let's get your guidance. What's the guidance for Pal 7 and these feelings that they're having? The feelings. Not for you. And yin. Absolutely. Absolutely. Top of the deck. Go the distance in reverse. All that glitters in reverse. Breathe. All in protection. Listen. Don't let this despondency carry over into all areas of your life. You still need to take care of yourself. You still need to breathe. You still need to function normally. You still need to care about yourself, your hygiene, your life, right? Like, do what you can, like, still be there for yourself. Like, don't step into laziness, don't step into inertia. There can be a balance between saying, okay, fine, whatever, surrendering to what is, and still sort of doing that in a way that is you taking care of yourself. At this point in time, this is really beautiful pink energy for you, pink purple energy for you, which is saying this situation, this dynamic is not for you. And if you've used this release, this like, I can't anymore, this like, I'm done, like this sort of like, okay, like it is what it is, like if you speak, I'll speak. If you don't speak, I won't speak. Like, it just, like, you dictate how this goes. I'm gonna go with your flow genuinely and like really see what this is. Good, because Spirit's kind of showing you that it's not for you, to be honest. At this point in time, like, you've made that right choice to just sort of release the codependency. I'm going to say that that's what you've done. And just sort of be like, okay, it's been too much for me. Like, okay. Just sort of release, because you deserve love. Like, you want to go towards more loving dynamics that feed you. If this is a momentary goodbye, then okay. But, you know, it's not for you at this time. This is not for you in the protection. That's your guidance. And part 2 of that is yin, which is about receptivity. So like, you're already in this energy, in the guidance of what you should be doing. It just really depends maybe on your perspective. Are you seeing this as, good, I finally reached a point where I right? Like, is that how you're seeing it? If not, Spirit is sort of inviting you to say like, hey, baby girl, I call everybody girl. this energy of receptiveness, this energy of acting from receptivity, for this energy from acting from what you're being given, and responding from there consciously, like that's more of what you need to be in. So if it took you having to go to this point in the way that it did, whether it's something that came upon you and you just sort of released these sticks, these wands, and the desires of just holding on to this thing for like, oh great. If you did it on your own accord, then great. Where you just sort of reached a point where you went and you were like, I can't. Good. Because it's not for you to be holding on to this thing. It's not for you to, okay, baby. Okay, wind. Somebody is smoking a clover out there. It's not for you. Okay? It's not for you. Being receptive to warmer energies is what you're being guided towards, especially with this you deserve love. I think that's kind of really beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead and read, I don't know, I guess both of them, because don't chase after what flees from you. Don't obsess over what eludes you. This is really the whole reading. Come through. Listen, if you're new, Spirit lives in the house of Lumiere. Okay, Spirit dwells in the illumination. Come through for a personal reading when you're ready. Don't chase after what flees from you. Don't obsess over what eludes you. Don't bang your head against the wall. There's nothing romantic about what is unavailable. No prize given for torturing yourself, and nothing to be gained by refusing to see the red flags that have been waving since you began your pursuit. Now is the time to walk away. There are other goals, other loves, other games, other successes waiting for you. The way out of obsessing is radical acceptance and surrender, right? Spirit wants only the best for you. This is a sign that you have something much better waiting for you. Trust. And I believe there is something much better waiting for you that will be coming down the line in time. Reading this yin message, let others take the lead right now. Absolutely. Didn't we talk? Spirit, baby. Spirit is here. Let's go. High five, Spirit. Let others take the lead right now. Your power lies in small gestures, soft awareness, and conscious surrender. By yielding the reins, you will find yourself effortlessly moving closer to what you truly desire. Permit others to tell you who they are and who they can be to you by allowing their actions to speak about them. You will be pleasantly surprised. It's a thing that is a real thing. When you sort of just allow the conglomeration, the accumulation of people's actions towards you over time for you to actually open your eyes to see them. And sometimes you find the people that you've been crucifying and ragging on actually have been doing pretty damn good towards you when you look at the bigger picture of things. And the people that you're like, oh, whoa, like maybe they haven't, or the vice versa, or whatever. There is something really good about being able to step back and really just see how people are moving. And when you take your feelings out of the way, you kind of see like, oh, wow, like, because I've done this personally with exes where after time has passed, and when I really take a step back and I get out of my feelings of whatever it is, positive or negative, I can go, that wasn't like the bare minimum. Like, that was like not, like, bitch, you were getting excited over some bullshit. The fuck? Like, my guy. What? And then other times you're like, oh wow, like I'm really getting upset, but I can see that this is the best this person is doing. It's just not for me. You know, like there's an array of what you can find out when you take a step back and you find it about yourself, how sometimes, baby girl, I call everybody girl, you sometimes can be the perpetrator. Like you sometimes can be like the troublemaker. Sometimes it's you. You the problem, it's you. And taking a step back is really helpful in the dynamic because now the other person gets to breathe, you get to breathe. The expectations that you've been putting on things are sort of like calm down. And sometimes you find out that it's not you and it's not them. It's just a mismatch. I wish you everything positive, and I really do. Keep it light and good luck, and I'll see you next time, okay? Bye-bye. Hey, Pal 4. Welcome to your current feelings. I'm going to actually put this back. This is the religious factors. I'm going to shuffle off camera. Okay. I actually organized them too. Love yourself first in reverse. A month. I feel it more than you do. 10 of Pentacles. Release your ex. Justice in reverse. Soar. Pal 4. your current feelings towards this person, I don't know, place, the people, the dynamics, the current just feelings about in general, how you just be feeling. I don't know. You tell me. Something about being stuck between a rock and a hard place. Stability versus like justice. I don't know. Like stability versus your freedom. Why are these feelings like this? Like, why are these things like this? I don't know why I feel like someone feels trapped. Anyway, I feel it more than you do. Sorry, my brain went completely somewhere else. Woof. I might have to close this window. Hold on. Wow, like you really can't. The color is really turning. The lighting is really turning in a certain kind of way. Anyway. Okay, love yourself first. In reverse. Release your ex in reverse. Yeah, I feel like someone is being stuck between a rock, feeling like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. There could be something that in a month, you're just holding out for a certain time period that feels too long. That maybe once upon a time you thought was okay, but now feels too long. But it's also not that long. But a month, really, when you think about it, a lot can happen in a month, and you're like, oh God. So yeah, I kind of feel like you're stuck between stability and freedom. And stability not necessarily meaning freedom, and freedom not necessarily meaning stability. It's interesting, Pal 4. Pal 4, you also have been coming up a lot in the readings lately. I feel it more than you do. I think you feel that you're not as understood by this person, these people, this dynamic, the situation, you know, the whole crew. You don't feel as seen or understood as you'd like. Yeah. And that sucks. Like, that doesn't feel good. And yet here you are, just kind of holding on to this situation because there is something about it that gives you stability, but it also like takes you out of yourself. And that sucks. For some of you, it's more than a month that you're waiting for something. For some of you, it's several months. For some of you, it's perhaps even something to do with Libra season or an Earth season. Depending on when you're watching this, it could be, an Earth season or Libra season or Virgo season. Something like that. Or you could be maybe one of those signs or elements. Release your ex in reverse is honestly kind of like someone holding out for like a statute of limitations to hit. It really does feel like this month, it's like someone gave in their notice and they're just kind of like, oh my God, I wish it was sooner that I could leave. You know, like, or someone has sort of like, if this is like a romantic relationship, maybe you've given it like a certain amount of time period but your feelings have honestly already decided. And maybe you're waiting to reach that time to see if something will change or to be there for this person while they're going through blah, 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 or like whatever the situation is. But at the end of the day, you know what your decision is. Like, you've already made a decision, baby girl. I call everybody girl. You've already made a decision of how you're going to move. And you're just sort of like holding on. You're like, all right, they just got to have this thing done. They just got to get this checkup done. They just got to get this refill. They just got to get moved in. They just got to get this treatment. They just got to da 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 da. Or I just need to close on this thing. Or I just need to get a job first. Or I just, like, it's almost like I'm feeling like it feels a little trapped. Okay, it feels a little trapped. I'm feeling like your current feelings in the situation are a little bit trapped. And there's almost like an until XYZ, then I will ABC. With this, I feel it more than you do. You do feel like you feel the situation more than the other people or person in this dynamic. Like they just don't understand, or they just won't understand, or they just... Yeah. They just... yeah, it's missing. They're just, whether that's the truth or not, that's what you feel, right? You feel like you do feel the burden of this dynamic, the way it is, this situation, the way it is, more than the other party or parties. Yeah. I don't really feel like there's anything more to read here, to be honest. So I'm going to go ahead and pull your guidance in this situation. Okay, that's more cards than I was. All right. That's not what I wanted. Nice. Listen, you know the deadline is going to come, and it's going to come. It exists, and you like hold on to that. Right? Ooh, when you look at the beginning of the video and how it is now, the lighting has changed, folks. Yeah, I think this is great. Can you hear how dry my scalp is? Yeah, anyway, your guidance is new life here and now, and never-ending story. Never-ending story is always kind of interesting when it comes out. It's just kind of like, it's just like suffering. It just is like suffering over your own suffering. It's like the same situation, just kind of play. It's exactly the situation I described. I'm like, oh god, like, oh, I hate this, like, and also worrying about the aftermath of when the certain conditions are met and you're in the ABC part, how that's gonna be, because whether you've chosen freedom or stability or whatever, like you've lost something, right? It's almost like this poverty consciousness takes over. So let's go ahead and read that and see what Spirit has to say for you. And it's nice because it's in the upright, so we can read the relationship message. Sometimes your heart enters into a contract with another that results in pain, not because of abuse or neglect, but for other more complex reasons. Shame, fear of intimacy, and low self-esteem are the greatest challenges to the success of a relationship. Consider how valuable this knowledge is, however. Right now, you have an opportunity for important healing, but you must reflect on the stories you weave about love, connection, abandonment, rejection, and loneliness. Not only do you need to begin a new story, new life is here, you need to forgive yourself for telling the old ones. Have compassion for the part of you that believes all those narratives. None of them were ever true anyway. How does that help? The sky is not falling. The voice you hear inside of you can be a small, scared, conditioned part of you that got stuck in a lie and wants to protect you and needs to be seen as a victim. Love that lost part of you. Fear is all it knows. Distorted guidance is preventing you from being true to yourself. You are not your story, and the narrator is simply the voice of your fearful part, small and vulnerable and easily soothed. So there's, in the decision that you have to make, or whatever the da-da-da-da-da, then da-da-da-da-da-da, like, soothe that part of you that is in the pre-da-da-da and the post-da-da-da and the during da-da-da-da. Like, soothe that part of you, like, in this whole situation. I think that's going to be helpful. I think that love yourself first is a thing that might be missing here, where in your feelings, you can spend a little bit more time catering to your fears and soothing that part of you. And then with the here and now, the message of that is it's easy to yearn for a love affair or friendship you may not have right now, one that is more romantic, more fun, more reliable, more passionate. The old days are gone and a new day has dawned. Let your heart trust that you have everything you need right now, whether you have the relationship you desire or not. Tomorrow is beyond your reach. Yesterday cannot return. The now is all that is available to you. Stay present and aware that in this moment, as you cherish and approve of your beautiful self, you are a magnet for love. Spirit is madly in love with you right now. Did you know that? Turn to spirit and feel the joy of love in the here and now. Okay. Yeah, I think this is about loving yourself where you're at now, even if it's in a situation that isn't the best, being kind and graceful to yourself, showing yourself more grace. If you feel it more than then cater to your situation, cater to you. Show yourself more love as you're, I want to say, leaving the situation or transitioning in the feelings about the situation. Because I feel like this is more so pointing to like your state of being and managing your state of being as we give time to time. And as like when you enter into the new, and also quelling your fears about the new. Is it gonna be all hunky-dory? Probably not, but also it may not be as bad as you think. So let's go ahead and read New Life for the new that all the stuff keeps talking about is coming your way. New energy enters old relationships, and new relationships are bursting with the sweetness and vibrancy only encountered when winter gives way to spring. This is a time to connect with others and share excitement, passion, and hearts full of joy. This card is a very auspicious sign with respect to love and partnerships in all forms. Okay. I'm going to read the general message of that. When spring awakens the world, joy and excitement. I don't want to read any of this. Trees and birds and sing and glorious whatever. Miracles beckon. This is one of those times in your life when new ideas inspire you and new opportunities bring you hope for seeing your dreams come true. All is well in your world. You have the energy you need to feel renewed. Allow your heart to fill with enthusiasm. Let your light shine, for this is a time of good fortune. So try your best to focus on, I don't want to say focus on the future because like, yes, but I think the best way for you to do your best and do your part in ensuring a good future that is unknown is to cater to your now and the part of you that is freaking the fuck out. Okay? Like, taking care of that energy is going to help you be able to move in a more conscious, creating way as you enter into the second part of whatever this clause is in your feelings about this dynamic are. Okay? All right. I wish you everything, and I think you're going to do well. Just do the hard thing of showing yourself grace moment by moment in every moment to the best of your ability, and actually cater to yourself and your feelings and soothe them to the best of your ability as you move through this sort of transitionary state. Pile 4. I wish you everything. Keep your light on and good luck. Bye-bye.